From a snow removal train covering passengers waiting on a train station platform with snow, to inattentive boys causing their boat to lose its balance while cruising on a river, here are some unusual and ridiculous scenes that were caught on camera. Let's get started. Look at these passengers on the platform of this train station. They are waiting for the train, hoping that it will arrive as soon as possible so that they can get in and get to their destination warmly. However, there is little chance that the train they are waiting for will arrive in time, with all the snow covering the tracks. Indeed, a storm has hit this region, which has paralyzed some public transport traffic. Nevertheless, these passengers stay on the platform and wait patiently. And to their great relief, the train finally arrives. But their joy was short-lived, because to their great disappointment, it was a snow removal train that had just entered the station. And that's not all. On its way, it will cover them all with snow. Look, almost all the passengers who are on the platform find themselves with snow on their clothes and their face. Brrr. But fortunately, it's only snow, and these passengers certainly had a good laugh at this situation, unless they caught a cold after the passage of this train. That's what taught them to stay too close to a train when it snows. In Tanzania, this young man had just stolen a bag from a poor old lady, and then he went home with his loot in his head, happy with his catch, but especially eager to know what was in that heavy bag. Of course, he hoped to find something interesting in it, like clothes or food. But his curiosity was far from being satisfied, because once he arrived home, this thief realized that the bag was still stuck on his head. That's right. The bag had been stuck to his head the whole time he had been walking, and it was still stuck to his head when he got home. Of course, the young man tried to remove his burden by using all possible methods, but seeing that all his attempts were in vain, and after thinking about it, this thief finally came up with a solution: go to the police station so that they can get rid of the damn bag. This would finally relieve him of his burden. Except that when he arrived at the police station, he was greeted by a crowd of people who came to see the thief with the loot stuck to his head. What a humiliation for this poor guy. But at least the police were there to protect him from others and to help him finally get rid of that bag. Well, he learned a good lesson, and we are almost sure that he will never dare to repeat his unhealthy gesture after this mishap. Look at that man walking towards that woman sitting in his boat. She is his sweetheart, the woman he dreams of marrying, and for that, he wants to propose on that boat. Of course, it is a bit risky for him because a wrong move can make the ring fall into the water. But this man is very careful, and he moves slowly towards the boat of his sweetheart, almost on tiptoe. Finally, he manages to propose to the woman of his life and present her with the ring. Look at this moment of pure happiness. Unfortunately, this man is going to suffer the consequences a little too quickly, because in his joy, his fiancée inadvertently activates a pedal that starts the boat, and the poor suitor falls into the water. Ouch! Well, the unfortunate fiancé didn't stay in the water for long, and he certainly quickly got out and waited for his future wife to come back to the dock. Here is a moment he will never forget in his life. And how? This man and his marriage proposal have quickly made the tour of the web. These two men, merchants perhaps, were sitting together and chatting quietly. They wanted to enjoy their break by making a little conversation, when a strong gust of wind blew an umbrella towards them, which suddenly attracted their attention. Without missing a beat, the two men got up and rushed to the umbrella to stop it. But fortunately, a third person came to their aid by climbing on the parasol, hoping to block it on the ground with his weight. Except that this good idea ended up shocking the two men, because what happened next left them speechless. Look what happened. The umbrella literally flew away because of the wind, taking the unfortunate savior with it. No one knows what happened after this incident, but these two men certainly quickly regained their composure and then tried to help their comrade who, we hope, did not go far and did not get hurt because of this little trip in the air. We are almost sure that from that day on, they learned to take their precautions for windy days like the one they experienced, and they will certainly never forget in their lives. This lady has just received a surprise balloon, which she is slowly and gently untying, while others around her watch and film her. As you can guess, she is hoping to find a nice gift that she would like. It takes a bit of strength and time, however, but the good lady tries as best she can. At one point, she let go of the string, which relieved her hands a little. But she will immediately regret this little break, because look what happens. Wow! By detaching her hands from the string, this lady loses both the ball and the money that was attached to it. Goodbye to the nice bills. Unable to do anything, the poor lady watches helplessly as her precious gift flies high into the sky while everyone laughs at this unusual situation. Finally, she resigned herself to accepting her bad luck. After all, the tickets may not have been intended for her and may have fallen into the hands of someone more in need than she was. Either way, this poor lady will regret this little moment of carelessness for the rest of her life. The cat you're about to see was probably wandering around somewhere when he wanted to take a nap. Except that the place he was not suitable for a good nap. What a shame. But while looking for a place to sleep, this nice kitty finally found this cozy little corner where he could finally fall into the arms of Morpheus. Sleep well, little cat, but look at what you look like when you sleep. In his sleep, this cat looks quite ridiculous with his weird position and his scary face. But at least he slept well, and that's what matters most to him. And he doesn't care about the comments and mockery of others as long as he sleeps as deeply as possible. Of course, he doesn't know it, but because of his ridiculous position and face, this little feline made the buzz on the internet. Like everyone else, the owner of this house is used to decorating his home around Christmas. But last year, this person wanted a rather original and attractive decoration for the holidays. However, this man went a little too far because the piece he decided to hang in his house was a robot in human form, but not only. This robot looked like a burglar trying to break into the house. Without the slightest hesitation, this man hung this robot on the front of his house while taking care to add a long ladder. And what was supposed to happen happened. This surprising decoration ended up attracting all eyes, including those of the police and firemen who arrived on the scene, probably to help the alleged thief. One can imagine the trouble this man must have gotten into because of his robot. However, we can't say he didn't regret it, and that he even had a lot of fun. And then, thanks to this wacky decoration, this man had a great success on the web. This mother was in an amusement park where she came to have a good time with her little boy. But she didn't expect to experience an incredible and difficult moment at the same time while trying a ride on this wheel. Watch what happens next. As you can see, the poor woman is trying to get out of this cursed wheel that does not stop and that makes her spin with her son in her arms. What a painful moment. Well, in the end, she certainly managed to get out of that wheel, but not without a lot of abuse. But hopefully, she didn't suffer too much from this endless spin, and she and her son didn't break anything. Except that her video went viral on the web, and she must still feel a little embarrassed when she sees herself in that embarrassing situation. Not sure she dares to ride that wheel again one day. This young girl was preparing for a challenge that consisted of dropping a balloon with a can balanced on it on the ground so she could grab it in flight afterwards. Of course, this young lady wanted to succeed in her bet in front of the camera that was filming her, even if it was almost impossible. But after a good dose of concentration, this girl dropped the balloon, which then bounced on the ground. The can then shot up into the air exactly as she wanted. That's it. She was close to making her bet and grabbing her can. Wow! She was right to use a balloon that bounces well, but she soon regretted her choice because when the balloon bounced from a good height, it sent the can flying much further than she did. The brave young girl then rushed to grab it. In vain, and in her race, she unfortunately slipped on the ground to end up in the pool. Look at this unusual scene. We hope she didn't sprain her ankle or get hurt in her race. But it seems that this is not the case because this girl quickly got her head out of the water, and we can say that she even had fun with it. Despite her fall in the pool, she will certainly remember it well in the future. These three boys were walking down this river in this boat. You can clearly see that they were having a great time on this boat and probably wanted to make their ride on the water last even longer. Except that the boat was in danger of losing its balance at any moment, and this because of the position in which they were all three sitting. Nevertheless, these three young people continued their walk without really paying attention, getting more and more comfortable. And what was supposed to happen happened. The position of these three boys eventually caused the boat to tip over into the water. But luckily, these three boys turned out to be good swimmers, and they soon got their heads out of the water and tried to put the boat back in its place. However, because of their mishap, these three boys ended up on the net where their video went viral. You have just watched some unusual scenes that were caught on camera. Which of these scenes made you laugh the most? And then tell me, have you ever experienced a situation similar to the ones you just saw in today's video? Tell us about it in the comments, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.